and sit down.
Alright, so this is something completely new that me and Rich just decided to do one day, and we started a whole new kind of podcast channel about it. As you can tell, there are black bars above and below us, so like the channel's called,
complete emptiness.
Yeah, some assembly required. So we're the bones of this. So if you guys are watching or listening to this right now on whatever you're doing, you are an OG guy. So click that subscribe button, because I think we're currently on 0 subscribers. So
it's down there. It's down there.
Down at the bottom. But anyways, just if you guys don't know who we are, or you might know one of us and you come from one of the other channels, I think it's time to introduce ourselves, Rich. So, Rich, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing and why you decided to spend an hour with me over the internet talking about things?
Well, something different, something to, different type of content, something to push me forward, something to get me out of my comfort zone, and to work with you, of course, man. To work with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to work with you. No, I'm looking forward to this. It's different. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while, and both our channels are doing quite well. Relatively.
We're both
why not branch out? Why not branch out?
Yeah, we're both the other side of the world from each other as well, which always is a handy. So,
different sort of point of view, literally.
Yeah. So if people don't know, Rich is he's a well-travelled man, I would say, because you are technically Scottish. Is that right, Rich? But you
correct. I was born in Glasgow.
But you now live in Australia.
How long are we in and you're pulling those ones already?
So for people that don't know, he actually lives in New Zealand, and
I live in New Zealand. And you live in Manchester, is that right?
I don't live in Manchester, but I always use Manchester as a so when I started the channel, this is something that I've always done, actually, because my best friend, when we were 18, he upped to move to America. So and he always did it when he went. When someone asks you where do you live, he always says they're not going to know, like Staffordshire or on the cusp. So just say one of the big cities, which Manchester is the closest one. And so I've just always done that and gone Manchester. But so I live like kind of in between Manchester and Birmingham, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But technically, Manchester Lego Store is my closest one as well. So we just base it on Lego stores. But yeah, England's
how far away is it though? How far is the drive?
Probably like a good hour drive, but.
So you've got some commitment to still go to a Lego store, right? You're going to show some commitment. Make a day of it.
It's getting more of a struggle.
Yeah.
I have to definitely weigh up the gift with purchases and go. Could just get it from Argos down the road, to be honest. Right?
Yeah. That's true. That is true.
So basically, if people don't know, me and Rich have quite a lot in common, actually, with our channels, which people don't quite realise. But Rich has got a Bricklink store, which I'm not allowed to open because Steph knows that would be the end of me and everything Lego. But other than that, Rich is quite into Star Wars, aren't you, Rich? Which I am as well.
I am.
And we both have a half destroyed, half attempted to be built city as well.
I'd say that's true about mine. I wouldn't have put yours in there. Mind you, you have destroyed yours recently too. Yeah, man.
So for listeners who are just listening to this, mine literally looks like it's being hit by it looks like Lego Movie 2, like the apocalypse happened. The first one, it looks great, and then the second one, something's happened with it. But that's the great thing about Lego, you can build it with models. I don't know if you ever collected. Did you ever collect Games Workshop? Do you know what that is? Warhammer stuff?
No, I definitely didn't collect that. So, definitely. This is where we don't have that. Don't have that in common, I can tell you that.
So people who don't know, Games Workshop, I think it's now called Warhammer. It used to be called Games Workshop because I'm old. It's like a model.
I remember the shops. I just wouldn't go in them. I just,
Well, when you used to walk past
I know, that's
that geeky guy in the corner, that was me.
Yeah, that was you.
But yeah, I used to love it. But the problem is, gluing stuff, once it's glued, it's fixed, it's permanent. I'm terrible at painting. And so when you'd want to change up stuff, it's very hard to do that. Whereas with Lego, you just break it apart, don't you? Like, say some assembly applied, have another go. Like, if I'd have
Complete
spent
assembly
200,
required.
if I'd have spent 200 quid on an R2D2 model where you glued it together, I think I would have been having to buy another one with my Lego build recently.
Can you imagine the expletives that would have come out of you halfway through building that if you were gluing every piece as you went? Oh my god, that would have been crazy.
The stress alone I have with applying stickers to UCS sets. Imagine that tenfold with like glue. Because at least with a sticker sheet, you can message Lego and say, "Look, Lego, I messed up. Can you send me another sticker sheet?" Or you can buy it on BrickLink. Like, whereas with an Airfix model or something, you're done. Like, you're done.
You know those Airfix models, because I had a few of those as a kid. I always remember the glue like just making a complete mess of them. Like, I'm not even.
Melting
I was just
them.
never. That's what I was going to say. I was hoping you were going to say that, because I managed to melt them with the glue nearly every single time.
Me too.
And yeah, you go paint over them, and they just yeah. And they got like a fingerprint across the wing where you've been trying to put it together, but there's been glue in your finger. Oh man. I actually tried to build one of those with my little boy recently. You know, he got given one, and I thought, look, you know, it's been 30 years. Surely I've developed some motor skills that can, you know, they can handle putting one of these things together. Man, it looked worse than I remember any of mine looking. And this was an adult putting it together. Man, wow.
I think this is the thing that I find with being an AFOL anyway, is that, you know, if you follow the instructions, it will look like the thing on the box.
Yeah, that's.
When you get these Airfix models or like Warhammer and stuff, you see it's more of the aspirational picture on the box. So they've got the really, professional painter and dry brushing and professional gluing. You look at my one and it's like, I don't know if you've got Netflix, but there's this cooking show called Nailed It, where they attempt the. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've heard of it. I've been meaning to watch that actually.
But I'm literally one of those contestants where this is what it should look like. This is what you've got, and it's like the arms falling off.
No, but you're right though, and that's another thing. Like, I mean, not that I was ever in. I mean, I put model railways on the same level as GameStop stuff, but you know, that's why I could never ever get into that. I would never have been creative enough or patient enough to sit there and paint things and, you know, sculpt little models and things like that.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that actually, because as I got more into my city stuff, I was like, never really wanted a train before, and then I got a train for the city because I just don't know. There's something. I don't know what it is, but if you get an attic, you automatically need to put a train in it. I find.
That's what the attic's for.
But it's really interesting. You like saying about like train collecting and train models, because that's a massive industry. Like people,
absolutely, a pricey one at that as well. Yeah, you think Lego's expensive?
It started to gel more into Lego now. There's a lot of these like different gauges and stuff and turnings, because Lego only have like one turn. But it seems like a lot of people from that rail kind of stuff are now coming over to Lego, which is pretty cool as well.
And doing the custom stuff. I've seen a couple of, guys that have done custom stuff and promoting, through social media. Yeah, and it's interesting. That is quite interesting, because that's someone actually thinking about a problem and coming up with a solution that a lot of us, especially in your attic city. Where you've got a very confined bit of space. Yeah. Imagine if you could get that little corner a little bit tighter, or that sort of thing.
That's one of the issues I have with the. That's why if anyone doesn't know about my city, literally, I have a train that goes underneath the city instead. So I raise the entire city, because it's so hard to get a train to go round buildings without sacrificing like 4 base plates. That so when you're in a confined space, you've got to put some. You don't want. The trains look cool, but at the end of the day, you want to have more Lego. So upwards. So.
You want it to be an addition to your city, not a feature of your city. Almost. Well, for us anyway. I'm sure people rather have the trains as the feature.
I think it's the difference when you go on YouTube and you kind of get FOMO with everything, because you see other people's just space that they have, like warehouses almost, compared to our smaller, UK. I don't know how big the houses are over in New Zealand, but just the fact that there's just the space-wise
comparable. Yeah. I'll tell you what I did. When if anyone's seen my city video, I took over a space in the garage there, which is a decent-sized space. It's a fresh concrete floor and all that as well, so it's all been done fairly recently. Still needs a bit of work in there, but it was a decent-sized table. But winter's hit, and I'm like, and it's freezing. Like, it's literally so cold that I have zero motivation to spend any time out there at all. So I had this bright idea. So last weekend we went down to the hardware shop, and we got a couple of big planks of plywood, and I thought, I'm going to put it in my office, man. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the Star Destroyer out and take the roller coaster out and bring the city in here. And
You're selling that Star Destroyer?
No, but look, you know, the city is in here as well now, and it's look,
you're just giving Steph, my other half, another excuse not to get that Star Destroyer now because you've.
Well, no, but you got to hear you got to hear the end of this. I hate it. I absolutely hate it in here. It's going back out into the garage at the first opportunity this weekend. Like, I've tried to live with it all week, and I'm just like, no, this is not happening.
It's too much going on, or.
And because my Star Destroyer is not in here. I love my Star Destroyer.
There you go.
Plus, as well, it's up against a wall. And the table out in the garage, you can get all the way around it and see things from different angles.
This is the issue I think that I have with mine, because I get to a stage and then I get annoyed with it because mine has to be pushed up to one side. I've got really awkward angles, so you've got to try and squeeze in somewhere where you want to do something, which is why I started doing the mill system, because that way then it's a bit heavier, it's a bit more stable to move in and out.
It would be easier to. I can understand that sure.
The dream is eventually we've got enough space in the garden to actually make quite a substantial building, which is what I want to get and planning permission and have a proper city. But that'll be when I'm probably 90. So
I'm just looking at your setup in there, and you've got obviously the A-frame of the pitch of the roof there. Can you not do those? Those extensions out sideways. I don't know what they're called. But
you can. It's more just the fact that it costs probably just as much to do that as to just get a garden office, to be honest. But this was already done when we got in the house, so I didn't do this. If I'd have done it, I would have dormered off one of the side. You can't do it that side because it's a 1930s building, and that's the face where it faces onto the road, so you're not allowed.
So that's
but this side you can, and it's quite a substantial house size, so you'd actually get a lot. You wouldn't realize how much more space you'd get. It's just one maybe in the future potentially. It's more money.
You weigh it up. Weigh it up. But we're sort of at the stage where, like, our house is an old 50s. It's basically like a log cabin. It's a particular style of house down here. It's called a lockwood, and it's an odd house, so it's built around a courtyard. So it's quite different. It's
awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Because Rich, are you a prince? Is that what you're saying?
No, definitely not.
Can you get your Bentley around the courtyard?
No, the courtyard is just somewhere where we lock the dog and we can see him. That's the purpose it serves. You talk about a courtyard, it sounds special, but he says dog.
He means he's got a corgi.
8 of them. That's where we keep the chariot. But it has no storage, this thing, man, and you're literally having to cut through log walls to do anything, So while we quite like the house and we've done some modernization, on it and all that, we've basically added a double garage out the front to give us that storage space. So the Bricklink store's out there. I've got an old classic car out there as well, and I've got the table that the city is going to go back onto. But that is essentially all our storage. So. I mean, it's a funny old thing.
It's like ours, because they weren't built for that kind of stuff. Like ours, obviously, because it's from the 30s, the kitchen needed extending, for instance, because the way that the British houses were, they had very small kitchens back then, because the people that owned these sized houses, they didn't use the kitchen. That was a maid or something. So they didn't bother acquiring much space for the kitchen because they didn't need it, because they weren't using it. So. So it's obviously they've been remodeled over the years. The kitchens get bigger, because we have an outlet, like an outhouse toilet kind of thing into ours. It's been built. It used to be outside, but it's kind of like got attached to the house as it's been extended or something.
And then been modernized.
It's just bizarre, but houses are weird things. But I think the ambition's there potentially. Like you say, you just need space to make more Lego, don't you? Really, that's the.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, the houses were probably built prior to any substantial Lego collection, so that wasn't factored in. To be honest, in the original design.
I don't think I've seen like on Rightmove or something where you walk up to the front and it says, sometimes they say like beautiful view. I haven't really seen where it says like Lego square footage or. A beautiful view from the UCS Millennium Falcon.
No, it gives you the dimensions of the house and base plates.
This beautiful 30 base plate room.
It's 30 by 40 base plates. It's a substantial room. And you're looking for no sun whatsoever, so it faces north. Everything faces north.
To be honest,
Perfect. I'll take it.
I actually have a bone to pick with that. And IKEA, they should make their tables, I think, base plate friendly. I don't know if you don't know what tables you use for yours, Rich, but a lot of people use, me included, IKEA tables because they're cheap, but they are slightly smaller than 3 base plates thick, and it's really, really irritating because they hang over the edge.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like, it's just real annoying because it's just off by like 2 studs or something, and it's irritating.
IKEA over here is a luxury brand, man. It's so hard to get IKEA stuff over here at a reasonable price because, well,
don't buy
as we are with you. I'm at the opposite side of the world, so
yeah, don't pay any money for it. It's definitely not worth it. For us, it's just we have to get a load of tables.
Exactly, mate. Well, that's exactly it, and it's not that here. It's people actively go and look for IKEA stuff because they like the look of it, and it costs an arm and a leg.
Kind of Scandinavian design, isn't it? Which is this kind of stems from mid-century modern and all that kind of stuff, but not good quality, which is quite ironic, really. Because mid-century modern's just supposed to survive the test of time, whereas I don't think IKEA is. But
no, IKEA is meant to last a couple of seasons before you get bored of it anyway and buy something new. And it's purposely made so that you don't feel bad chucking it in the bin when you get bored of it.
The thing is, actually, you say that, like BrickScene, I've seen. I think it was BrickScene that I saw one of the videos for. Like his tables, because they're not solid and how they're built, because of the weight of Lego, they eventually droop anyway. So over time,
oh really?
He has to replace.
Is he using those plastic tables or something? Is he using those like picnic sort of style tables? No, I think
he's using the ones that I've got right here, like the I think they're called Linmon.
Oh really? They're flexing, are they?
But because they're kind of hollow, and I think because obviously you put the legs at the end, there's no weight supporting the middle, so eventually they just start bowing. So.
Well, the one I've got in the garage, actually, I found from a secondhand office furniture place. So it's an ex-boardroom table that's 3.6 meters long by 1.2 or 1.4 wide. So
yeah,
and it is solid as heck. It's
I think if I was doing like a garden office, like you're saying, I'd like to have something custom built in the middle. I think with electrics under a custom built table with electrics underneath, so you could power the lighting and stuff. And
like big enough with a pop-up hole in the middle so you can get into the middle.
I have it as like a little view hole, so I have it so you like glass over it.
Like the meerkat enclosure at a zoo.
Exactly. I'd have different ones where you can see me popping through.
Hey, that's not a bad idea, man, to get in there and take those minifig, point of view photos. Yeah.
That'd be great. You can also have it there when people come in, the whole city's just like glass, so no one can touch it, but it's like more of an exhibit.
It's safe for kids to go and look and not touch.
Yeah, don't you dare touch it here. I'd have to get his dog protected as well, to be honest. My dog likes attacking. He started, I don't know if your dog's the same, but I have minifigures lower down now, and I have to be careful when he comes up here because he starts licking like minifigs.
I don't have that problem with my dog like that. My dog's a 45 kg Labrador. The biggest problem I've got is this weapon of a tail that just takes things out. And he's always happy, like that castle. The castle. Well, of course, it's great that he's happy, but that castle's sitting on the coffee table. Not anymore. Serious, man.
That would have been a great video. That would have been a great video.
You should have seen my daughter the other day. She's got this the Friends doggy daycare set. I don't know if you know that one, the Lego Friends doggy daycare set.
And it's sort of that one. It's like the vet one, isn't it? Like
yeah, well, it's got like a little sort of dog. No, it's got the dog on the above the door, like, on the signage type thing. But yeah, my dog came along and just literally turned around and his tail brushed past it. That thing was sent across the room and ended up in back to square one, basically.
So basically what you're saying is your next dog's going to be a Boston Terrier or a Pug or a French Bulldog that has no tail as a weapon.
Either that, we're going to have to get
just dock it. Is it called docking?
Is that even legal these days?
I don't think it is, no. Because they used to do that with Rottweilers and stuff, didn't they? Because of the look.
That's right, yeah. And Dobermans, wasn't it? Yeah, I wouldn't put a dog through it. No. They do it to sheep for reasons, of course. I know that being from New Zealand, but not to dogs.
Yeah. Okay, so this is taking if you guys are still listening to us rambling, that's awesome. I said, don't forget to subscribe. This is a random thing that we're doing. So shall we move on to actually? There's been some ridiculously good news this week, which we were both super excited about. Which was obviously all the Star Wars that's come out this week, which is, I think me and you are probably. I don't know if it was you, but if you were the same as me. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, my wallet is gonna hurt. Like,
this is not going to be pretty. That's what I was thinking. I'm just going to get the pictures up on my end.
So whilst Rich gets the pictures up to have a look at them, there's been two official two official announcements. Obviously, we had the Bad Batch shuttle a couple of weeks ago, which I don't know if you've been watching the Bad Batch, Rich, but I think it's pretty decent.
I haven't but that's only because I haven't finished Clone Wars yet.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
And that's
because I haven't finished Clone Wars either, and I've still been watching Bad Batch, so. It's
Okay.
not too bad, but the shuttle itself is really cool, and I've been a minifig collector. It's pretty awesome that we're getting pretty much all the characters bar Omega in the set, so that's pretty sweet. And it's 90 quid, which I don't think's too bad. It's not too great, but for minifigure comparisons, you're getting like 4 or 5 decent figures for 90 quid. It's usually pretty good for Star Wars Lego sets. So
absolutely. The Bad Batch shuttle. Well, sorry. I was going to the Bad Batch shuttle for me, and then you always, when a new set comes out, you compare it to something that you've seen recently of a comparable size and go, hey, is that value for money? It's just an automatic thing you do as a collector. Now, to me, that's comparable to that 2014, 2015 Imperial shuttle. To me, the build looks like of a better quality than the recent Imperial shuttle that we've had.
Yeah.
Just from the pictures anyway. I mean, obviously I don't own the set yet, but seeing, and of course we get the 2 extra speeders, and we're getting 5 minifigs. So if you're going to compare it to anything, I think that's a good comparison, and I think it's good value for money.
Yeah, talk to me like being an oldie. 2014 to me, it was like a good year for collecting, and to me, I think this set goes back to that kind of age as well, because I said this recently because I got the sail barge. Steph bought me the sail barge recently as a gift for being 12 months on bricking it. And you look at the box and there's like new on all the figures, and they're all like, most of them are actually exclusive to that set.
Yeah.
And it just makes the set feel special. And that was like a 90 quid set, I think, when it came out. And the same with Jabba's Palace. And I think this one's very similar. Like, it's a decent size thing, but also with decent minifigures. So you're on about that shuttle that came out. It's got 3 minifigures. Not a single one of them are really from this year. It's like a Luke Skywalker from 5 years ago. A Vader that we've had like on repeat is not even the arm printed Vader. And it's just like, for that size of set.
I mean, I have my opinion on those sets, and without sort of diverting too much from what we want to talk about, but those sets that came out earlier in the year, if they were going to pull out another X-Wing and another TIE fighter, they couldn't have made it more expensive, and they couldn't have done the same thing, because people would have been, it's too expensive, or not another one. So to pull out a cheaper one, I understand. Fair call, it ticks the boxes. But the Imperial shuttle hadn't been released for quite a while, and I feel that even though they're looking at these cheaper price point ones, I think it was a bit of a letdown, because the one from 2014, 2015 has shot up in price. It's very hard to find now, and people want that ship, so
the X-Wings shot up in price as well.
Yeah.
But I think
really?
the X-Wing
from 2017, 2018.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
think the X-Wing's definitely the better of the 3 builds, personally. I think it looks good, and you haven't sacrificed much for that cheaper model. The TIE Fighters...
I didn't buy any of them. I've
got all of them.
Because I said to myself, I'm like, I don't need these, and this is when I started to be a bit more strict about my collecting, because a couple of months before I would have been, let's have them all, but I was like, you know what? This is good. This has given me that reason to go, hey, I don't need the latest one. I've got one that I feel is better, the Solo TIE Fighter and the 2018 X-Wing.
I've always done that, to be honest, and we can come on to that actually with the new ones that you were just going to say. But I'm the same ever since the Slave One UCS set that I got. I never tend to look at any other any other Slave Ones, because it's like, well, I've got the best one. So
you've sort of reached the pinnacle,
Same with the Millennium Falcon. They bring out Millennium Falcon every year, but I've got the UCS one. It's always going to be not comparable for a display model, anyway. So
I agree, But there is a couple of hook, line, and sinkers, and we'll get onto that as
Which is
well,
usually
that make you
minifigs.
go for the... Exactly, man. Exactly.
But
you know?
so the other one that was officially announced that was this week was the Vader's meditation chamber. I don't know what you think of this. This has been one that a lot of fans have like been really split on.
I'm on the fence with it. I'm really on the fence with it. What was the price point on it?
I think it's
Do you know?
60 quid in the UK. I think 70.
So that's probably going to be about $100. So that's probably about the same price as the helmets,
right.
roughly. You know, so yeah. Look, I think most of the pieces are in the base. You know, I think because it's 660 odd pieces, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
It looks cool. I love that sticker. The sticker with the screen where
the general,
where the
like,
guy's about to get full. Yeah,
that's awesome.
exactly. I think that's fantastic. And there's a couple of sort of designs. I think must be stickers on those curved pieces, you know, around the console of the inside of the chamber.
Yeah.
But the crane part just looks odd. I mean, I understand why it's there, but it detracts from it.
Yes.
You know?
I think I think that this one suffers from the same as potentially the Vader brickhead, the Vader helmet, where I think it will look better in person, because when you see it on a white background like they show it, it's very obvious. But potentially when you've got it in a shelf where you might not see the back as much because you've got all the, I think it may be more hidden. But I completely get that. For me personally, I was looking at it straight away and was like, I originally thought that the general that comes in the set is General PA or Piet. I can never know what his
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Not, it's actually.
But is it Veers? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only know
it's not the same Veers from the AT-AT that we got recently, is it though?
So no, because I only know that because it's now officially on Lego. So I read it and they call them General Veers there. But yeah, no, the General Veers. I think I had a look on BrickScene, and let us know in the comments, by the way, if you guys know different. But I think we've only ever had an AT-AT pilot version of General Veers, which he comes with in an AT-AT outfit. So it's a different character because obviously he's got an Admiral suit on in this one. So he's at least technically exclusive, hopefully. And you're getting another Vader with arm printing, which at least, you know, that's another good way to get him, even though it's quite an expensive set to get another Vader with arm printing.
I think, look, if you've got the Bespin duel, and you've got I wouldn't even put the Nebula and B frigate as, you know, even though it's a sort of a similar style, I wouldn't put that with it. But if you had the Bespin duel and the meditation chamber together on a shelf, I think they look nice together. I think, you know, similar sort of style.
I recently built this one actually, and I think this is a great underrated set, the carbon chamber set from a couple of years ago. If this had a little display plaque or like a little base, I think this could have been an 18+ set, like, because it looks very
I had that, but then I got rid of it as soon as I got my Cloud City, because the Cloud City has got that in it as well, with the similar sort of mechanism.
Talking to Cloud Cities,
no, mate, it's sorted. Don't you worry about that, man. Don't worry, it's sorted.
To be honest, it was the same
with this.
And
I'll put this guy in the package as well.
Yes. So that's definitely something we need to talk about at some point. I think maybe next week's episode will be I think we're going to talk about, which will get more organised, will be the ridiculous aftermarket of minifigures recently, because it is
that's a good
crazy
idea.
how they're going up.
Why don't we run our podcast like this, that we basically just come up with next week's topic on a whim during I think it's so now that'll stop us diverting away from the subject too often.
Very true. So if people are still listening, there might be that one person there sitting at home, maybe just pondering life. Maybe that you're looking right now at your own minifigure collection, going, wonder how much that guy's worth, or you know, oh, actually this guy's now 5 times the price. Let us know in the comments. We can talk about it next week and bring it up.
Because
there has been a couple of minifigures that I hadn't realised that people have said, have you got this guy? And I'm like, yeah, I got him ages ago. And then you realise how much they're now worth.
How much they're now worth.
Ridiculous.
Or even ones that you've got in sets, and you know, like, I mean, I'm just going to give you a quick example here. The Queen Amidala that came in the Gungan sub. You know, I bought that Gungan sub and it had the minifigs for next to nothing.
Yeah.
Captain Rex. Thing you know, Captain Rex with the ATTE.
Yeah. It's just mad.
Just don't tell the missus, man. She will literally be down at the pawn shop tomorrow getting rid of these damn things, man. Just don't tell her, man. Don't tell her.
It's the same with that Cloud City. I mean, we were completely veering off what we were talking about. But that Cloud City set, for instance, no one wanted that set when it was out. The minifigures are now worth more than the set. Like that's.
Oh, you could sell off 2 or 3 minifigs and pretty much gain all your money back for that set.
Yeah.
And I think that'll probably happen to like Mos Eisley as well.
Oh yeah,
Eventually as well.
especially
You know,
with the,
it'll be
especially the 7 exclusives, like because I think
exactly
I was
that'll be
having a look,
the value of the set. You know.
yeah, I was having a look in the Gurinden, the Imperial Spy. I think it's the most expensive figure from last year to buy.
Is
on
that
the
right?
aftermarket.
Already?
I think,
Already? Yeah.
because and he's just in that
Crazy,
stuff.
yeah.
But anyways, we were
Crazy.
talking about the
Anyway,
actual
back-
leak ones, which was from, if you guys, I mean, you guys probably haven't been living under a rock, but we could talk about it anyway, which is a Japanese magazine basically leaked quite a substantial amount of the others. We know there are still some other sets coming, so I think I looked at Ryan, he said there's still supposed to be
Is it the Forge?
Mandalorian Forge, yeah, and
Yeah.
the AT-AT potentially, and obviously the gunship.
And obviously the gunship, yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know if do you want to go through the ones that were in the magazine, Rich? Because I can't remember off the top of my head anyway.
Well, yeah, well, let's start smallest to largest. So we'll start off with 75310, and that's the Mandalore throne.
Yeah.
With Ahsoka and Darth Maul. Now, I think Darth Maul actually, again, the value in this set is definitely going to be the minifigs.
Yeah,
and I think Ryan put it right as well when he said that this set has now made that AAT from last year even less valuable.
That set from last year now is literally just an Ahsoka Trooper minifigure price point now. Like,
yeah, that's literally it.
I'm a little bit disappointed in the set, so I'm probably going to get hate now. But
on this one, and this new one?
Yeah.
Really?
Mainly due to, I think the throne, I actually think the side build's pretty cool. I think the little throne, the little prison for Maul's cool. Maul is, that Maul looks awesome. Because we have actually seen some leaked renders of those that we can't show anyway. So he has the metal legs later on, and it's very, very cool. But to me, I feel like this could be an opportunity to repair that Ahsoka minifigure, because I do feel that one does look a bit off. Her head guard is way too high. It might not even be the correct real mold for her. I can't remember that kind of hairstyle thing they have, the tentacles of her species are, but it just doesn't quite fit right to her. And I think
it kind of looks sort of oversized almost, yeah.
Yeah, I think they could have addressed it. She looks a bit too much like Shakti, to be honest, than Ahsoka. And but they obviously haven't. They've used the exact same minifigure. So for me, for my collecting, it's literally just from that Maul figure, that entire set, which I don't know how much. Is it supposed to be like $30 or £30? I'm not too sure what it is.
What the set is? It's 20 US or something, isn't it? It's dead cheap.
Okay, so that's not too bad.
But let's flip it then. Let's say that you didn't want to spend the 40, 50 quid or whatever it was on the AAT. It's now a cheap way to get Ahsoka. Like
very true.
The recent Ahsoka and again, prior to that Ahsoka coming out, Ahsoka was an expensive fig. I mean, the other Ahsokas are still expensive. But people want to get an Ahsoka, and to get two figs, including Ahsoka for 20. Basically anybody who buys that $20 set, you're going to hold on to your money with that one, because you're going to have an Ahsoka and you're going to have a Maul. So I don't think you can go wrong buying that set. In all honesty,
if you look, if you look at Ahsoka's on the aftermarket, there's a couple that are around £12 each, which I think are the Clone Wars variants. The Rebels one is around £100, which she still hasn't gone down in price, even with the inclusion of the new one.
Jesus, is she 100 quid? Is she?
Yeah, and
God, I got a couple of those ones.
Wow. Yeah, and the
she came with a Twilight and came with a ATTE, I think it was.
Yeah, well, she's pretty pricey. Yeah. And then the new one, I think, still around 15 quid, because she came in the AAT, which, like I'm saying, the AAT's not been the best build, so I think people didn't want the set and just literally bought it for the figures.
Trooper that came with it, and it's a single trooper, and if anybody wants to build an army of those specific troopers, it's an expensive.
It's pretty much a 501st trooper with a different coloured helmet as well. That's literally the figure.
So it's literally just the helmet.
501st battle packs if you're building the armies anyway. But
true.
But going back to the figures themselves, you haven't had an Ahsoka under £10 anyway. So technically, if you say Ahsoka's worth half the price of that set, you're already kind of doing well. And then Maul, you don't get a Maul for under £10 either. So you're getting two really good figures.
Maul like that. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's good that Lego have addressed that as well, because everyone wanted Ahsoka until the AAT came out, and now we've got a couple of options to get Ahsoka. And to get a Maul. When was the last Maul that came out? It'd be that dual set, the
It's
the
a Duel of
Naboo
Fates for a
Duel of
official,
Fates one. That's right.
Yeah, for an official Lego set. However, you can also get the visual dictionary for the Rogue, the
Yes.
Solo Han Solo Star Wars story variant.
Yes, I've got
He's
that.
pretty
I've
cool.
got that
I've
as
got
well.
him.
Yeah.
So he's probably the cheapest way you can get them all. To be fair, because that book always goes on offer. So if you want,
My first one on Darth Maul. The first one that I ever got was with his what's the ship? The Infiltrator, the Sith Infiltrator, and that's the one where he's got the cheesy grin.
Yeah, the really
that's a weird. That's a weird.
I don't think they've quite got his face print quite right yet, but I haven't seen this one up to date that much. So, in fact, I've actually got I've got a load of stuff here. So I've actually got the original set that he came in right here with the.
Is that right?
The little. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a cool set, man.
But,
that is pretty cool.
But Lightsaber Duel, it was called 6 to 10. But yeah.
6 to 10 pieces. Somewhere in there. You'll still have trouble putting it together, though, I'm sure.
Exactly. But yeah, I think I'd like to say, I think for everyone, for people, I think it's a fantastic set, and definitely, I mean, I'm going to get it purely for that Maul figure. So absolutely. I think the next one on the price range goes up to the Mandalorian. I don't know what they call it. The Rexler, is it called, or the Wrecker, the like tank thing.
The troop transport. Is it the Imperial troop transporter thing?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can't remember what it's.
It's probably got a specific name. We're probably making ourselves look like idiots here, but I'm just trying to find my picture of it. I had a picture of it here. Where is it gone? I just have my video running in the background. I did a video on this, everyone.
If you want to check it out, go check out BrickScene.
BrickScene.
Yeah, it's called the Trexler Marauder. It's called
Trexler Marauder. That's its official name, is it?
Yeah, and
but again, like the Mandalorian transport ship, it'll just be called the Imperial Troop Transporter or something like that, won't it?
Very, very.
But that comes with you get 2 bog standard stormtroopers,
which is pretty decent,
a pretty cool looking Grief Karga as well with his graying beard, and of course that mortar trooper. So how cool is that one?
I think that's what. Again, this is another one I was a little bit worried about, because I thought that they would actually devalue even more the Razor Crest, because I thought they would just shove in the Grief Karga from that one, and then that would literally mean that Razor Crest, the figures are completely pointless, because you've already had the other ones taken out of the set and put into other sets. So I'm kind of glad that it's a new Grief Karga, and he looks awesome. That Stormtrooper looks incredible. The mortar one, I just think he's awesome.
Is that the first time they've done like a deviation of a Stormtrooper like that? I mean, I suppose there hasn't been too many. I mean,
technically, I suppose you can include the Sand Troopers, where they have like the sand on them.
True. I suppose they have with the printing.
We have them a lot. So I think other than that,
and some of them are better than others. Yeah. Interesting. It is interesting, but it does look cool. It does look really cool. And I think the vehicle itself.
I was hoping we get one of the Flame Troopers.
The Flame Troopers with the red.
That would be awesome to get at some point. But
another time, I'm sure. Another time, that'd be a cool scene. That final scene. Well, maybe you'd get that with Moff Gideon's tie or something one day. With the folding wings. That would be brilliant.
It's crazy. If you'd have said to me last year that we're getting pretty much an entire Mandalorian wave, I'd be like, nah, no chance.
Nah, I would have laughed at you as well, mate. I would have laughed at you.
And,
I would have laughed at you.
It's pretty much the entire wave. So I don't think anything's out of the question now for Monday sets.
But that thing looks tough, doesn't it? That set. That looks quite robust.
Oh yeah.
I think it'll be okay.
I think it's $40 that set the Rexler thing. So I think it's not bad for price. And I think Ryan said this actually. He was saying actually, even if you don't like the build, it's actually not a bad way to build Stormtroopers, because you're getting 2 Stormtroopers in there and the mortar one as well. And then you could pretty much probably sell Grief Karga if you wanted to, because you're not going to need 40 Grief Kargas. And
I'll tell you now, as a point of view from a bricklayer owner, the light blue grey and dark blue grey, easy to sell. So I could chuck that in the store and probably get rid of half the pieces pretty quickly. But very decent set. Like I said, I don't think there's one on this list that I'm not too sure on. I think the next one That brings me to the next one, because the next one I'm not too sure on.
Okay. So
And
which one's this one?
the slave one.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely not too sure on, because it's exactly the same scale as the, well, not exactly, but it's around the same scale as the one that comes with Cloud City, which I really liked. I love the design of that. The guy who designed that one designed the UCS one as well, so
Right.
he knows about getting that angle, and getting it right. So that was a great little set. This one, of course, is slightly more detailed. It's got some newer parts, so that the shaping is slightly better. But of course, there's the pull of the minifigs. The Mandalorian minifig.
Minifig, really, because
It's minifig, yeah, because
Mando's been in like Trouble on Tatooine set, a fairly true set.
correct.
But he's also in a
Yep.
couple of these sets as well. So if you're going to be buying other sets of this wave, it's really just for that insanely cool new Boba Fett. Which, if you guys don't know, it's a new Mandalorian version of Boba Fett with like he's still got his black kind of like garb underneath it. You can see he's got printed arms. You do not get that often on a Boba Fett.
Just as well that history tells us that any printed armed Boba Fett is gonna see you right through retirement. Put it that way,
Yeah.
like
Any Boba Fett. Boba Fett does well no matter what on the aftermarket, even for the ones that don't have printed arms. They always seem to hold their value.
That's true. But this one is cool. We've wanted this one, haven't we? We've wanted this one with the cleaned up helmet, and it just the colors just look a little bit more sharp, don't they, than previous Boba Fett's? They're just
So
it looks like he's had a repaint.
Yeah, I'm in a bit of agreement with you, to be honest. I'm not too bothered about the slave one, like I said earlier, because I've got the UCS one, and hopefully might be getting the Cloud City one at some point as well. Mm-hmm. But it's like, do I risk maybe getting him on BrickLink or something instead? I don't know, because I do like getting them fresh out of the package. And these are very cool.
If you want to get it from BrickLink, you'd want to get it early on, of course, because it's one of those things that I think that set in particular, because of the price point, it's going to get bought up. People are going to buy it pretty quick. I don't think it's going to sit on shelves for very long, because collectors will just be no question pick it up. But
and also the fact that the Slave One is a very desirable set. Like, even though
exactly, so kids recognize it.
Yeah,
it made such an impact in that last season of Mandalorian as well. So yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, so it's a very expensive minifigure for us personally.
Exactly. But next one was, of course, that Mandalorian Starfighter.
That was the one that we didn't even know about, like, at all. Like, that set, I didn't hear any rumors for that, or maybe it was just me. But
I heard rumors about it. No, I knew it was coming out. Yeah, no, I knew it, but I just had no concept of how they would have done it, or how. Because do you know the old one that was sort of mainly white with a bit of blue, if I remember correctly? I don't own it, unfortunately.
I remember being on a stream and Solo had it. Solo Brick Builder had one. He was building it, and it's kind of cool. Like the wings spin quite weirdly from the Clone Wars and stuff, which is pretty sweet. But I'm just having a look at it right now, because the picture is a little bit blurry for the new one, but I have seen people saying I want to see what the other side looks like, because obviously we're seeing
the anti-stud side, of course, and it's the same with that fin on the Bad Batch shuttle as well. What is it going to look like from the other side?
Well, you can see that on another angle, and it doesn't look great. The Bad Batch shuttle.
No,
you have it on the a kid holding it or whatever, but you know what? You just accept it. You just have those staring that way on your shelf. But I mean, the minifigures again.
It's the minifigs, man.
Three exclusive minifigures in this one. Because you don't even get Mando in this one, because obviously it's Clone Wars, so yeah. Well,
I was going to say, and it's not even like they've just used one of those Mando figs from that battle pack that we got.
No.
Last year. It's not just like they've gone, okay, well, which they probably could have quite easily done.
Easily have done that, and people still would have been happy with it, So.
But again, we can't show any pictures, of course, because there's been a further leak of the Bo-Katan minifig, and she's of course got the face, and she's got the that piece around the top of her head, that sort of, what do you call it?
Very cool. I haven't even.
Yeah. Oh, mate. # Lego leaks on Instagram. Gotta keep up with the play, man. But look at Gar Saxon's helmet, man. I think that's cool, because that's of course going to be the mold that they'll probably use for the Forge. So
yeah.
I
mean, I'm terrible with names anyway. People laugh at me all the time when I try and do the names.
No, I'm terrible with names. People introduce themselves to me, and
I
by
always
the time I
go,
finish
yeah,
talking to
that
them,
Luke. People always say, "Who's your favorite minifigure?" I'm like, "Oh, that Luke Skymajigger guy. What's he called? Skyward."
just go for the safe one. Farm boy Luke. Farm boy Luke.
Yeah, farm boy Luke, dude. Yeah, he's cool. But yeah, the Gar Saxon guy, I just had to look up to remember his name anyway. But like, it's a cool figure. That helmet is awesome. So
and there's those different pistols as well. You know, we're getting different looking blasters.
I think they're the ones that were. The only other minifigure I know that used that from Star Wars, I think, was the ones from Rebels. I don't think I've seen it used in a long time.
It's not the same one that they used on some of the clone troopers on Rex or anything like that, because Rex came with a couple of pistols.
Potentially, it might be. Yeah, it might be.
Yeah,
but
it's a bit blurry. These pictures for me to really see with any great detail. But
it's cool. I'm glad that they're not sticking stud shooters in all of these sets. So that's cool. They're getting more accurate.
Looks like they all come with jetpacks as well. So yeah, no, looks good. Looks good.
Which might be why they didn't use the battle pack ones, because the battle pack ones didn't have the jetpacks. So
they had
maybe
the capes,
to be more accurate to the Clone Wars series. But yeah, so I think we're up to the last one of the biggest one, isn't it? Which is the Moff Gideon shot. I think that's.
Yeah, this is the one I was really looking forward to this one. So when the pictures dropped, or when I first saw the picture of it, my first impression was it's a little chunkier than I thought it was going to be. Like, it's a little more blocky than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit, more smoother, like, not so many sort of panels. You can sort of see the layers of the panels on this one. That's the sort of thing that sort of gives it that sort of more textured look, if you like, compared to maybe the Imperial Star Destroyer, and remembering that we're just after that era, so they are very similar looking ships in that sense, and
if you actually look at the ship anyway,
the skinning of
Star Wars universe, it's very much like a Star Destroyer crossed with a Venator, isn't it? It's kind of got that midway point to it, So
yeah. And this one, I don't know if have you built the old the only Lego Venator that has been released. Have you built that one? So the bit going up to the bridge on that, it looks like in a similar sort of build to this, where it's got plates stuck on sideways, but which they didn't really. Well, it wasn't really too noticeable on the Imperial Star Destroyer anyway, but you can see those studs on the side, on the Venator, and of course the back end of it looks like the Republic frigate as well, with those three, cylinder sort of style engines. Yeah. But look, it looks good, man. It looks good. I love any Star Destroyer shaped ship. Give me a triangle shaped ship any day.
To me, like, I'm not allowed. I'm turned away from those. I'm not allowed. They're too big. So the fact that this one seems like it's more of a play scale size one, other than unlike the UCS Star Destroyer, this one I'm sure I can find a shelf for somewhere, and it looks cool.
Yeah. Have you got any of the other Star Destroyers at all?
No, I'm not allowed them.
They're quite similar. Well, the Imperial one, 75055, which was the last Imperial one, around 20. I want to say 2015. I can't really remember. Whatever. It came out the same year as that UCS Slave one. It was one of the first sets. Well, it was the first set that I got when I got back into Lego. But that's a similar build to the First Order Star Destroyer as well. And I'm wondering if this is going to be same in the sense that it's going to open up and fold out so that you can have access inside. There's no pictures there of it yet.
I do reckon that it'll open up, and I reckon it might be like a little scene that looks like the bridge, even though obviously you're not going to be opening the bridge bit because it's tiny, but I think it'll be the bridge inside with the famous scene with Luke. Potentially, although Luke's not in the set, which I'm quite surprised Luke's not in the set.
No, but that whole, I mean, where are all those minifigs together? Yeah, it might have the jail scene, where Gideon was in the cell. That might have that.
It looks like it's more that you want to act out because it's got Mando
or the pods that had the
Death Troopers in.
The Dark Trooper. Dark Trooper.
Yeah, I always get them to
well, like the pods that had the Dark Troopers in, just so we can edit that out.
I don't care.
No, but there's quite a few scenes that have taken place from within that ship that they could incorporate in there. And look, I mean, I don't know how big the inside that hull is going to be. It's obviously going to be a bit smaller than the Star Destroyers that we've had so far, the playset Star Destroyers, because it's got that big cut out the front of it. But there's room in there for a few scenes.
Yeah, there's a cool thing that I sort of heard on Ryan's one where he was saying like he doesn't know, it's just a guess, that it might be like a way you can fire out the little TIE fighters, because it comes with TIE fighters with it. So there could be a play feature.
Yeah, that could be kind of cool.
Out.
That could be kind of cool. Yeah,
so
just ping them out from one of those rubber band sort of shooters at the back, like a pea shooter type thing. Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
But I think the set itself, I wasn't going to get the set originally because I was like, from the rumors I heard, because I was like, oh, it's going to be for one figure, I'll just get that. But the figures are great again. Like, you know, you're getting that other bounty hunter from Jabba. I can't remember what she's called again either. Fennec. She's awesome. Yep. And I mean, she's been recently in obviously a Bad Batch episode as well, which is pretty cool. And then again, you got, you know, like you got Moff Gideon and that Dark Trooper. The Cara Dune is the same one as I think she's from the ATST Raider still, so they haven't changed her. However, now all those people that have bought about 50 ATST Raiders
just to get the Cara Dune figure. Like, it's true, man. It's true.
Kind of funny.
So which ones are you going to get? Which ones are you going to get out of these? Because you're going to get some of them. Let's be blatantly honest.
I think I'm going to get all of them. I genuinely do.
I'm going to take a tiered approach. I've decided.
Oh,
a tiered approach. So I'm going to do.
First, guys, this is going to be the rich. This is going to be the rich 3-tier purchasing.
It's only a 2-tier thing. It's only going to be a two. Yeah, so I'm going to get the 3 expensive. I'll get the 3 expensive ones, and I'll just pick the other 3 up on the slide as basket fillers. You know. That's how you get stuff into the house unnoticed, man. You know what I mean?
So he's basically going to do his patented rich under the jumper through the front door approach, where which set can he put under his jumper without his missus seeing and get to the Lego room successfully.
It's for the city, man. It's for the city.
Yeah, I mean, I think personally, the problem is that you've got all these, and then you've got the meditation chamber, and you've got the Bad Batch shuttle. That's a lot of sets that pretty
again meditation chamber I can easily miss out. I don't own the Bespin dual set because I feel that those go together. You know, I feel that if you've got one or you've got the Nebulan B frigate as well, then I think you kind of have to have, you know, your rubber arm is twisted in such a way that you just have to get that meditation chamber when you've got those other two. Whereas I'm free of such problems. But
I personally know that Via's figure, if he is exclusive to that set, will be like, I need to get it because that set will just be worth. He'll just be worth quite a bit of money because the arm printed Vader we have had in a couple of other sets now. So,
whereas I do have all the Star Destroyers. You know, and that's so I have to have. You know, I've got a Republic frigate as well. So I have to have those ships for me.
I think the one that I may miss out on, again, we were on about this, is the Slave One. However, I also know that I would want that Boba Fett figure as soon as I can possibly get him. So I don't know whether I would wait.
Do you know what I'm going to do? Do you know? And here you've heard it here first. Is I'm going to buy the Slave One. And I'm going to take that Boba Fett out, and I'm not going to build the rest of the set and see how long I can last. And then look, if I decide I'm not going to build it, which I guarantee I probably won't, it can go in the BrickLink store. You know, it's not the end of the world.
Part it out, sort of thing.
You know, part it out. You know, and there'll be some pieces in there that people will want. That dark red, you know, that'd sell.
The green rounded piece as well. Is that already red? They're the green, aren't they? The rounded pieces around the wings. They're quite expensive pieces as well.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, very, very cool. So if you guys let us know in the comments again, it's going to be an interactive podcast. We're going to decide. We don't even know what this is, but if you guys want,
we've managed to talk for how long now? We've talked for a good hour.
We can ramble on. If you guys want to comment on which ones you guys, if you could only get 3 of them, let's say, which 3 you've got to get. So which 3 would you have to get, Rich, if you could only get 3 of them?
Oh, that's easy.
Including Bad Batch Shuttle and the meditation chamber as well.
Well, yeah, Bad Batch Shuttle, Mandalorian Starfighter, and Moff Gideon's Cruiser. That's the 3 I'd get straight off the bat. And of course, it's the 3 that would hurt your wallet the most.
Yeah. I just don't know if I could live without that Boba Fett. That's the thing. He's such a cool figure. If I'm not allowed him, if I'm only allowed the 3 sets. I think I'd agree with you on those 3 sets. I think they are the best ones, definitely. For minifig selection as well. Alone, they are some really good figures there. So
all my minifigs are in a bucket, so And on that bombshell,
I'm gonna scoop out the ones that I know that I don't have.
Everyone tries to do that when they come to my house, man. They go, "You sure you don't want this one?" I'm like, yes, he's safely filed away in that bucket there. So
filed away. The bucket archive.
Oh, it's my bucket of shame, man. It's my bucket of shame.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
If ever there was such a thing.
But anyways, yeah, so this has been like the kind of first random episode of Some Assembly Acquired. We decided to put it on its own channel just because then we can co-own it, can't we, BrickScene? So
absolutely, man, absolutely. And it's something new. I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed having a chat with you, man, and I look forward to doing this on a weekly basis. I really do.
I think it's going to be great. And like I said, there are going to be some other ideas we've got in the pipeline as well for other things that can go along with this as well, which might be a bit more ambitious, but it all will be on this channel anyway. So
stay tuned.
So yeah, but anyways, thank everyone if you managed to get this far for watching. Also, just randomly comment waffles, just because. Do you know what? It's currently 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm craving some waffles. I think right now.
Man, it's 8 p.m. here, man. I'm just craving my bed. This is how it's gonna be. You're gonna be hungry, and I'm gonna be tired. This could be really interesting going forward.
But anyways, that has been the podcast. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Ciao.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers, guys.